If your spouse is shouting at your kids right now, and if you are not applying the Ying Yang method, which I'll be describing to you in this video, then unfortunately, you'll be raising imbalanced kids, kids that will self-sabotage, and kids that unfortunately will be stuck in the generational poverty curse because you're not applying this method. So here's the situation, right? You guys are parents and you have a child, all right? And your child does something wrong, and your spouse over here shouts at your child, and your child starts to, cry. Do you A, stand on your spouse's side, or do you B, stand on your child's side, which basically means going against your spouse's parenting style? Out of those two choices, A or B, what would you do? If you, for example, answered A, which is stand on your spouse's side, which is stand over here whilst your wife or your partner starts reprimanding your child, and you also jump on board and reprimand your child, well, you're going to create an imbalance in your child's early development where your child feels bullied and there's no support from his side to defend what he has done wrong. Or on the other side, you chose B, which is stand on your child's side, which is over here, whilst your wife or your partner reprimands your child, which this means you are going against boss man or boss lady, which means you guys start to fight, right? Over the child's incident. And therefore with conflict, your child over here will witness, well, the parents are fighting because of me, which creates a lot of internal trauma and future self-sabotage. So in this case, what should you do? Choice A or choice B? Well, this is where the Ying Yang method comes in. This is something I learned from my rich Asian wealthy clients, which they've used to raise their kids, which are very balanced, very successful. And here is the secret. And that is apply the Ying. So when you see your spouse lecturing your kids and your kids' aftermath is basically, in tatters right now, right? I need you to apply Ying. And Ying stands for you and I now go away. So for example, your wife or my wife in this situation starts, hammering my kids for something they did wrong, maybe very something little, doesn't matter. And it could be a male or two females raising a kid, I don't really care. I'm just talking about my situation, just for this example. So say your spouse hammers your kid, and then the aftermath is your kid is totally upset, your spouse is totally upset, right? What you need to do right now is apply Ying, which is you and I now go away. Go to your child, let's go away whilst mommy needs her time to calm down. Let's go away. Bring your child to another room. And what I want you guys to do once you've done Ying, which is you and I now go away, is lick their wounds, okay? This is the notes I've collated from being involved with these rich clients. I've secretly written it down. It's basically, this is what they told me, right? Lick their wounds. Your child is upset when you are in another room. I do not want you, and most parents do this, and I sometimes do this as well. I just hold my tongue. Don't criticize your spouse. For example, mommy and daddy, don't criticize them whilst you're in another room with them. Right? Say this instead. Say, hey, kiddo, or their name, what happened? Have that sense of curiosity, this unbiased tone. What happened? Let the kid talk. Also add in, do you know why mommy and daddy is so mad? What happened? Okay, then 90% listen, which means you zip it, you don't talk, you only acknowledge, all right, that's what happened. And then what you do after that is, once you feel that your child, who's obviously upset, is emotionally more balanced than before, that was about maybe 10 minutes ago, which means the Ying is working, I need you to apply the Yang. And Yang stands for, yes, I acknowledge how you feel, and I also acknowledge how mommy feels. Now let's breathe and count to 10 together. Take a deep breath, right? Do this at the child's eye level, which means you need to bend down on your knees. Don't do that and, look down at them. And then going back to my secret notes, after you lick their wounds and done the Ying portion of the method, I want you to do the empathizer mode of Yang, which basically, when you acknowledge how they feel, you need to acknowledge and also express how you can relate to them. So your child's upset, acknowledge and express that you know they're upset. You can see on their face, and how it must hurt them how mommy or daddy has shouted at them at a loud voice. But also don't leave it at that. You also need to express how you can relate to the spouse's frustration. You must say something like, hey, I also understand that, I know you're feeling upset, but I also feel that mommy's really upset as well. I can see how frustrated it is. I mean, you've just spilled all the cereal on the floor. You thought that was fun, but mommy now needs to clean it up, and she's really frustrated that it's going to take her that long. And I can see that she's also clearly upset as well. And once you've done that, I want you to then apply, okay, now breathe so they can calm down and digest the information in silence. Then go back, you and the child who's a bit upset but now is a little bit more happy, go back to the other spouse and make amends. And hopefully your spouse who's done the shouting, maybe emotionally reacted, would come back and hug the child and go, I'm sorry, I overreacted, and let's make peace. So guys, next time your spouse, your other half starts shouting at your kids, I hope you use the Ying Yang method, okay? I don't want you to choose either A or B, which is stand on your spouse side, which is 2 against 1, bullying your kid. Obviously they feel helpless and that creates trauma in their little hearts. Or stand on your kid's side, where what happens is you then start fighting with your spouse, and your kid witnesses what's happening and feels they are responsible and guilty for what's been happened because of them. I'd rather you use the Yin Yang method, and hopefully you can raise more emotionally balanced kids, and kids that grow up without any past traumas carried forward into their adult life because you applied the Yin Yang method. And also combined with my new book, which is Nana the Naughty Savings Jar, your kids learn to be money savvy through a hilarious and fun story of Nana the Naughty Savings Jar. Combined with that, your kids will be unstoppable. So jump in the comments, let me know what else you want me to talk about or any questions relating to this video.